Anyway,
Sounds
let's
like
get to
a
the topic
story.
that we've all been waiting for, and that is our review of No Time to Die.
There is no time.
No! Time to die.
Time to Die. Is a 2021 spy film. And the 25th in the James Bond series produced by Eon Productions. It stars Daniel Craig in his fifth and final outing as the fictional British MI6 agent James Bond. It is directed by Kari Joji Fukunaga, known for his work on True Detective and 2015's Beasts of No Nation. The screenplay is by Neil Purvis, Robert Wade, Fukunaga, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Leia Sadu, Ben Whishaw, Naomi Harris, Jeffrey Wright, Christoph Waltz, Rory Kinnear, and Ray Fiennes reprise their roles from previous films, with Rami Malek, Lashana Lynch, Billy McNusson, Anna de Armas, David Densick, and Dali Bensala also starring. In this film, Bond, who has left active service with MI6, is recruited by the CIA to find a kidnapped scientist, which leads to a showdown with a powerful adversary. The critical reception has been generally positive, with an IMDb rating of 7.5 and a Metascore of 68. This places No Time to Die smack bang in the middle of the other four Daniel Craig Bond films, with Quantum of Solace and Spectre reviewing worse, and Casino Royale and Skyfall reviewing better. Gentlemen, take a stab at the Rotten Tomatoes.
70.
I love Spectre. Spectre's my favorite one.
No.
80.
Let's go. 80.
You're wrong about that, Ben.
Yeah, I'm thinking 80, but I might just go slightly higher.
You son of a bitch.
Or do I go lower?
Yeah, you're the guy in Price is Right who everyone said like
79.
$5.99 and they're like 600.
Yeah. 79. Plus or minus 2.
Jason, what did you say?
80.
Ben?
97.
84%.
Price is Right rules,
Price is Right
I would
rules.
win. Thank you.
You would.
Thank you. I would.
This is a long time coming. 2015 Spectre release. 6 years we waited. A long time for No Time
It's
to
about
Die.
time.
I'm going to throw it to Mr. Movies, Ben Stapleton.
Not the best film to see after lockdown in a packed cinema, and they're like, so there's this virus. I've already been through all this. And then I heard this on the only podcast about movies that I listen to, these guys chatting about No Time to Die, and they came upon this take on it, which I think is so true, and I'll tell it to you guys now. They reckon, and I agree, that this was all about a virus and not nanobots and shit. And then they were like, then when COVID happened, they're like, shit, this is about to release. We cannot have a movie about a rogue virus that can spread the world and kill everybody in the middle of
A pandemic.
We have to pull it for one, and then we have to fucking change it. Like we can't ever release it like now, like not in the foreseeable future. And it's pretty obvious because the evidence for that theory is pretty sound. I think there's like guys cultivating the virus in like very organic looking, like underwater, all that kind of thing.
Now that you mention that,
they're not doing tech stuff, they're doing botanist stuff.
They're not washing the nanobots.
The main villain is all about deadly
flowers
plants and genes, modifying genes and all that kind of thing, which a virus is all about. And anyway. That was a fun take. Look, this movie is one of those movies that has like 1 second is like 200% better than the whole rest of the movie. Like there's this 1 second where Anna de Armas gives a sweet chin music heel kick to a bad guy, and it's fucking brilliant, man.
Oh yeah.
It's so damn good, that kick.
Yeah.
And I was so shocked. I was like, you're watching AAA action. You're going to see some impressive shit. You're going to see her like backflip and choke a guy out with her calf or something like that. And she does like a no stunt woman, full frame. Like I can't imagine there's wires helping her in heels, in an amazing backless, frontless, sideless. Like there's nothing to this dress.
It's a deep V dress.
It's dental floss in dress form.
Yeah.
I was looking at it going, damn, can you get away with that? Wow.
Yeah, to be honest, I
Like
didn't
whole
like
intensifiers.
Old Man Yells at Cloud didn't love the dress. Like I was like, I don't want to be thinking about this. Like right now, I'm trying to focus on the Bond film, follow this really complex plot right now. It's really getting weird. And then I'm like, damn it, Anna de Armas is still there. She's still there. Yeah, kind of thing.
It's like when Blake Lively appears on screen, but it's like, well, now the movie's ruined. Now I'm
So my week is ruined. Yeah.
Exactly. If you want like to see what I mean, watch oh my god, why can't I remember the name of the Blake Lively film that is like the best?
Oh, Age of Adeline.
The Age of Adeline, right?
Yeah.
The scene,
Age of Adeline.
the scene where Harrison Ford realizes like it's his.
I haven't seen it.
Oh.
Whatever. Harrison Ford gives this like he's absolutely shocked to his core to see her again or whatever. So he's just like, oh my god, like he cannot believe his eye. It is the best performance of his I've ever seen. It's one of the best. It's the best acting scene I've ever seen for that emotion, and it's like that emotion is unfortunately what I feel when Anna de Armas wears that in that movie. So I don't want to feel that. I want to feel Bond. Anyway, I thought
Someone clip that. I want to feel Bond.
Shaken or firm?
Speaking of feeling Bond, though, this movie has all of the Bonds, like all of the funnest Bond tropes. The really fun homages, like you've got the great Aston Martin car, and you've got the like
multiple,
indeed. You've got the crazy out of the ballpark Bond theme, like just scored to the nines. You've got the tuxedos. You've got the James Bond and the martinis, shaken not stirred, and the
wristwatch.
Yes, and the gadgets with the watch thing, and it's all there. Even the I don't know if it was PP7, but the pistol shooting the guy who's looking down the scope thing, paying homage to that, I really loved. Like I even foolishly leaned over to Kate, and I'm like, that's just like the opening credits, you know, when he like does it when you're looking down, and she's like, yeah, I get it. I'm not an idiot. Like she gets movies, but I was so excited that I saw it. Yeah, I was patronizing her, but not. I was just too excited in that moment when that happened. I really was. I was like fanboyed when that did happen. I was like that's just like at the start of all the Bond movies. That was great. They added this character, the Russian guy that you said in the synopsis, Shane, the scientist that everyone's after. He's the MacGuffin, and he is like the source of humor for this. Which otherwise scares the shit out of me because of COVID and all that stuff. But he is so ridiculous. He is so ridiculous. He is so ridiculous that his lines can only be delivered in the 11 that he gives them in this bad Russian accent. It's like when the guys kidnap him, they drop this awesome thing that looks like a mortar down the elevator shaft, and it's like spitting out all these things everywhere, and I'm like, oh, that's like all these little bombs or something. You're gonna blow the fuck up out of this building. That's so cool how they can just like rig this whole thing to blow or whatever. And then no, they put on these metal vests and just jump down, and it's like magnets that catch them or whatever, so they don't have to.
Again with the magnets.
Yeah, none of this rope BS. Yeah. We're getting to we're not going to use the elevator for its function. We're going to get the elevator out of the way and then like just fucking drop, and it'll do some Mission Impossible shit. Like I'll catch you with the magnet or whatever, like in that movie. And so his line is he's like screaming, he's like, I'm gonna die or whatever, and he stops it and he goes, what? Magnets? Like he says like that. It's just it's so ridiculous. It's up there at 12, his lines. Like he's working in the lab, and these guys with guns come in and start like shooting and stuff, and he's like, no, shoot that. He's just don't shoot while you're in here. It's just so silly. Such a ridiculous character. I loved it actually. It was like it was so bad it came back around. The good?
Yeah, it's like Boris in GoldenEye. He's like, I am invincible. It's channeling that type of like caricature parody of a person.
Yes, it's the villainous henchman-y nerd guy in the Bond film again, and it was really
it's a cartoon.
It was Boris again. Yeah, totally cartooned. And I had another point, which was like 5 points down, which is another Ana de Armas point. The gun catch was amazing. Like he just throws a machine gun at her, and she just like catches it and turns around and starts blasting like fools. I loved all of Ana de Armas, and I have a bad guess. It's not going to happen, but I think they're setting up for Ana de Armas to be the next James Bond.
Whoa.
Because, like, hear me out here. She's too cool to go to bed with him. She's not impressed by him at all. Love that. The respect that he pays to her, he shakes her hand, passing the torch, if you will. They have a drink together at the bar in the middle of the fucking action, which was so not even Bond. That was so ridiculous. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then when I was thinking like, Ana de Armas is going to be the next Bond, and then I rethought up that part where they just like pour bourbon and have a drink at the bar that's being shot up or whatever by the henchmen. I was like, that is the nail, the
Also,
last nail in the coffin of
skulls the vodka
guess.
martini as well.
And I don't want to spoil much. But I don't know if I can mention the 007 angle. Do you know what I mean, Shane? Do you think that's too spoilery if we talk about the 007 thing?
Yeah, can you navigate around it carefully? I'd rather not.
Yes. Here's how you change something to something that people don't like. Like when there was that rumor that the next Bond was going to be Idris Elba or whatever, and people were like, Bond can't be black or whatever. You know, I don't know what they were saying, but whatever people were fucking upset about. Oh, and when they made the current Bond, like Daniel Craig Bond, they were like, Bond can't have blonde hair. That's ridiculous. And he's got blue eyes as well. Outrageous. Anyway, here's how you do it, right? You give someone the change that you know no one is going to agree with. Everyone hates change, myself included. But you pull the Band-Aid off and you give them something that they're going to hate and you know it in advance, and then you take it away. Like you're listening to them. You take it away, and then the next thing you give them is automatically going to be more favorable than just saying Ana de Armas is the new Bond or whatever. So I think they're doing that. That's.
Oh yeah, no, I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yeah, for sure.
They gave us something, a little taste of something, so that we can spit it out now and get over the tantrum. And then they're going to say,
so the next time we need to take our medicine, it doesn't taste as
yes. So the next time we get to do something for the good of movies and put Ana de Armas in a heavy action Bond film as Bond, it'll be the best thing ever. But
it's like the salt lick before the tequila and the lime. It's like you do it so that what happens after it tastes better. Kind of, I guess.
Yeah, or it's like, I'm going to pull the Band-Aid off on 3, 2, 1, and you do it on 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Well handled. I just want to say, you managed to communicate that point without spoiling
I'm very impressed.
I like that.
Let me see if I can do this one without spoiling anything. I didn't...
So in the end...
right at the end, when everybody is killed. No, I didn't understand at all the villain and his thing. I didn't...
I'm with you. I would need to watch it a second time.
He even explains he monologues his motives to Bond or whatever. I was still like, what? It's like he sat Bond down and he said, so I like to eat ice cream when it's on fire. That's just weird. and then I'm supposed to go, okay, ice cream on fire. That makes sense. I'm like, what are you talking about? That doesn't even make sense as a sentence, yet alone as a preference. What is happening? And so then they just roll with it. Like he's just like, and that's my motivation as a villain. And that's what I want. And you're gonna have to do it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do what you've got to do, whatever it is, to stop me. Yeah.
Outrageous to the again. It's very Bond. You've got the island. You've got the missiles. You've got everything but a cat.
The secret hideout.
You've got all the bad guys with scars across their faces in some way or another. They're missing eyes. They're missing skin. It's ridiculous. And then, for some reason, I'm fine with all of that until the plot comes along, and then I go, don't like it. Didn't get the plot. But you know what? It's a Bond film that was trying to be super Bondy, and I think I just explained myself out of that negative point. Anyway. So I've talked about the virus shit. I've talked about the homage that I loved. I talked about the only other thing is, Shane, I just didn't love it because a year of hype cannot deliver. I was waiting for this since April last year and it just couldn't. But it, plus the COVID thing, I was sitting next to people, I hated it, but whatever.
I'll jump in because you bastards took all the airtime with Labor Day. I had nothing to contribute. I'm going to echo a lot of what Ben just said just quickly. Very high expectations for this film on my part. And I came away not disappointed, but I can't say that they were entirely met in that I think Casino Royale and Skyfall rank as my favorite Bond films and also some of my favorite action films ever. So when off the back of Spectre, which I didn't entirely enjoy, I certainly enjoyed parts of it, although I think it lent more too close to the homage, let's be Bondy again, in its bombastic villain and whatnot, and over the top action and just actually unbelievable action scenes that sort of like made me disconnect from the film. I was expecting this to find that sweet middle ground, and I think for the most part it really did. But to your point, Ben, like, it's the final Daniel Craig Bond film. Like, I'm going to expect this to blow me away like Casino Royale and Skyfall did, and it didn't blow me away, but it was so good that I can't complain about it, if that makes any sense. I enjoyed, and I'll try and tread lightly around spoilers here as well. I think the one thing I enjoyed most about this film is that it really took Bond's character to a different place. Like, it is, he is doing things for a different reason, and we explore his personal motivations in Casino Royale and Skyfall, where his, by the end of it, he's fighting for something greater than his duty to his country. He's fighting for Vesper, he's fighting for M, and in this he has more than just his duty and his want to protect the world to fight for. So I really enjoyed that part about the film. Absolutely stunning, like, and that was to be expected as well, and I think it met that high watermark also. The one scene in the forest, I think near Norway, if I recall correctly, it's just absolutely beautiful. Like, it's just fog and mist and darkness and
ferns and conifers.
How cool is that sequence where he's like, "You are trapped with me now."
Exactly.
That kind of
yeah.
The ingenuity and
I am not the prey here.
The ingenuity and creativity of Bond in that scene, like you get that Jason Bourne master operative vibe there, and to your point, you are trapped with him in that scene. But just to my point on the cinematography, like, everything in that environment is working against the filmmakers and somehow they crafted this beautiful scene that I completely understand and is thrilling. I needed to shout that out.
The location scout is like, what about this place? He's like, too well lit, might be something worse.
They probably did all of that on set as well. They probably built that set just to control all the elements.
Possibly.
And a couple of funny points as well, like the opening action scene. I don't think it stands up to just the amazing scenes that we've got at the start of Casino Royale with the parkour and Skyfall with like the train as well, when he's got like the bulldozer that's like latching onto the other carriage. It's not as over the top, but it was equally as thrilling. To your point, Ben, it has like the classic Aston Martin, and what an ending to that whole scene. And then the opening credits roll. I'm like, it's been like 15 minutes already. Like, now we're getting the opening theme song. That was amazing. I wish we saw more of Anna de Armas. She was amazing in that scene as well.
I think we may, Shane. I think we may.
Maybe
I certainly hope so.
Do you remember when one of them says, like, next time, stay longer?
Oh, right. Yes,
Yeah.
true. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and at the end of the film, it did say James Bond will return. I don't know if that's a big shock
Yeah.
there.
I spent a lot of time thinking about that after the film. After I watched it, I'm like, what could that mean?
I mean, the studio still wants to make money, so it'll make James Bond films.
Let's not try to dig much deeper there. There was one final point.
It just starts with James Bond waking up from a bad dream.
Scotty.
Thanks,
Love you,
Scotty.
Scott.
Love you, mate. Yeah, I think to my
It's
overall
fine.
point about just like it not reaching that expectations, I feel as though there wasn't any one particular moment that peaked above the rest. Like there isn't that one specific point in the film where we're like, that was the moment that I fell in love with this movie. It reminds me of like Rogue Nation, Ben, when Tom Cruise is kipping up the pole, and we're like, that is the scene, that is that action moment that I'm going to remember for the rest of my days because it's burnt into my psyche. Like I don't
Which
have
moment?
that moment in
I don't
Rogue
have that
Nation.
moment for Craig, but for Anna de Armas, that was it.
Yeah,
Right,
that
right.
kick.
Like Casino
Actually,
Royale,
that-
I can recall like
Yeah.
specific things like Machete Hallway, when he's chasing after Vesper in the Aston Martin, and like she's on the road and he just like swings the wheel and it goes airborne. Like Skyfall as well, just like that whole chase scene out. Once Silver breaks out of prison, they end up at the Senate hearing, whatever it was. So many moments like that where I'm just like, there's not one moment jumping out at me with this one, but it's just all just like such at a high level, but still not quite reaching those lofty expectations for me.
What about the one-shot thing, the going up the stairwell?
I was going to mention
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it was. I
didn't
thought it was pretty
realize.
good. Yeah, there were some moments where there was like, oh, okay, really feel as though the henchman should have had the upper hand in that regard, and Bond should have taken at least a couple bullets to the chest. So again,
Yeah.
I'd have to rewatch it. There was a lot going on.
His lack of body armor concerns me.
Right.
He just uses the bad
He
guys.
has body armor. It's called plot armor.
Yeah, I'll pass the ball now. I'm sure there are many more thoughts we can dive into, but Dulcet Tones, Terry, I'll go to you next.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
You want to buy an omelet for $5? I don't know how to say much more. Practical stuff that I really enjoyed, the muzzle flashes from a lot of the automatic fire, like when the guys are storming the lab. Love that. The muzzle flash is really good. Tactical as fork. The middling henchman having plot armor, really frustrating. Like, yeah. How can he be so capable yet so incompetent at the same time? Like his situational awareness with the Aston Martin sequence to get himself behind cover, but he doesn't see a cup of tea coming. Like I find that character to be not as good as other middling henchmen in Bond films. Like I'm thinking of Natasha on a Top. Way better middling lieutenant kind of villain person, and a great name that you get to make fun of. As in make puns with. What
That's a good
else?
point. Yeah, Batista had none of that either. Like he was a.
True.
He
Yeah.
didn't say anything.
Yeah. He didn't have precisely. There
I
wasn't.
had one
You
line.
get into the Screen Actors Guild with that performance.
Yeah.
You have to have a spoken line or something as a rule.
I was just saying that
Yeah.
he was like his character was
Yeah.
like intelligence at the same level of Bond, if not higher, right? Just like the
Right.
way he
Yeah.
going toe to toe, he was a threat, and you understood that as a viewer.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Where this guy, it was not quite like that. But anyway, I've got a few gripes with the film. I don't know if we can get into them without. Well, I mean, Ben talked about nanobots. So, nanobots are robots.
Yep.
I'm guessing they run on some type of electricity.
Are they proteins?
And I don't know. I'm not sure. I may not have been paying enough attention to work out how the nanobots worked, but I'm pretty sure if they work on electronics and you expose them to an electromagnetic pulse, they get fried. And so,
Terry.
Like, I have a
What?
particular problem with
Oh.
that. Kind of.
To be honest,
yeah.
that was a real. If you're a movie watcher, like a
Yeah.
test taker, and Hugh is giving him an EMP watch, you go, I wonder if the EMP watch and the nanobots are going to have anything to do with one another.
Actually, yeah, I'm looking on Wikipedia. I've just
Yeah.
typed in nanobots affected by EMP, and it says in case of failure or malfunction, a small EMP or an MRI
MRI.
could be used to deactivate the nanobots.
Right.
Both techniques induce an electromagnetic field, corrupting the memory and shorting the circuitry of any electronic
Yes.
device within range.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
And even let's say that these nanobots are semi-organic. Let's say that they've cracked the code to make an organic type
Flowers.
of nanobot, right? Yeah, let's say that they do that. He's still wearing an earpiece that is definitely electronic.
That was
And-
obviously an organic earpiece. too.
and he still communicates with it. I
It was
love
analog technology.
I
analog
love how he
earpiece.
used the EMP to cleverly dispatch the enemy.
Yeah.
But it made me feel frustrated that all of this electronic technology that's not lead lined is obviously still working.
And you carry in your good points.
Yeah, I found it really distracting. I wish I
Give it
didn't
a
know
bit.
what an electromagnetic pulse was or did. Yeah. What
It's
else
this
did I think
movie
about
that
the
needed the body armor from Terry's.
Ooh.
You cannot escape. No, it's
Shots
I
fired.
kind of feel like it's a little nitpicky, but at the same time, like the movie couldn't happen. The line that he says couldn't happen without the device. I don't mind
Amazing.
it.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent of
Yeah.
that last hand nearly killed me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and those sorts of hammy kind of almost like CSI Miami, like shades on. Yeah, as the pun is made. Like I that's what I come to Bond movies for, in part. That's so I do like that. I could not agree more that the Bondliness of this film was dialed up, and I really liked it. I loved some of the stunt set pieces, the trail
That was
bike
good.
thing
That was
in wherever they were, Italy or something.
Italy.
Yeah, I'm sure it was Italy. Brilliant, just phenomenal. I love that you hear it kind of puttering in the background as he's kind of considering his options, and he kind of looks over it. It gets, I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. And then like he does some really cool stunts and tricks and stuff. And oh my goodness, like on the
A
bridge,
funeral
there's-
too? Like that's an active funeral
Yeah,
progression. that's moving
it's
on.
an
And he's just like,
yeah,
right over the top of him.
He's Leroy Jenkins. Him avoiding getting run over by like stop, drop, and rolling into like a little nubbin of brick.
That was good.
That made that the pucker factor of that is like, ooh, yeah. I felt it. Oh gosh. So
I'm
yeah,
gonna jump in
action
just, like,
sequence.
why you
and
mentioned
a
that,
dump-
Terry?
Yeah.
I physically, like, I'm an empath when it comes to any sort of pain in film most of the time.
Yeah.
Particularly when one character with their own hands breaks someone else's arm, and I'm just
yes.
like, I squirm in the cinema. I'm just like,
Yeah,
"Ugh."
you have that in common with Jen. She can't cope with that kind of stuff either.
Yeah.
The CIA, the attaché. So you've got the CIA agent that you have reprising his role
Guy
from
from
previous
Space.
movies.
Felix
Yeah,
Felix.
Felix.
Right.
Felix
Leiter.
Leiter. I'm like, it's right. No, it's not like that. Felix Leiter, the State Department attaché that's with him. He's in The Big Short. He's one
He
of
is.
the mortgage broker loan seller guys that are bragging
Nicholson,
about essentially
yeah.
breaking the law. And he smiles way too much, and I love that Bond says he smiles too much. Like he's like a 15-year-old girl, just like being included with the cool kids for the first time, and just like. Like really loving being part of the adventure.
Well, he's like Poe the Panda with the Furious 5.
Yeah,
Just like James
fanboy.
Bond is
Yes.
such a fan.
And he's like in the Hall of Wonders or Legends or something. He's like, is that the spear of like whatever it is? It's like the Jar of 1,000 Whispering Souls, and it's like, yeah. He's fanboys a bit. I did like that particular character. It's good to see Christoph Waltz in anything because I love that guy.
I will say, like, to our point earlier about opening credits as well, it would have been nice to know that not know that he was going to.
Yeah, that he was going to be back on screen again. That's
Yeah,
true.
I saw three
Sorry.
names that I didn't know. I saw Anna de Armas, Remy Malek, and Christoph Waltz, and
I
hated
knew.
them.
Unfortunately, I knew that Remy Malek was in the film.
Yeah,
I saw a still of him associated with the film, and I was like, "Oh, son of a bitch!" I did bad anyway.
Yeah, unfortunately, I knew like a lot of the main
Does anyone
characters.
remember what his character's name was? Like, he has the most villainous, stupid Bond last name. I can't remember what it was.
That's
Oh,
only
no,
because I
must
looked
have
it
been
up for the run
Yeah,
sheet.
Safin.
Sorry, and it was somebody. It was one of the other bad guys. Sorry, it was like
Tanner? No.
not
Logan Nash?
Logan Ash is Billy McNusson's character.
Okay,
Mm.
Primo is the
Yeah.
guy with the eye.
Primo
Blofeld?
Blofeld. That's I almost said Christopher Walken. Christoph Waltz's. Because it's funny because they're
Oh, it
both
might have been his
Chris,
first name. What was
and one's
Saturn's first
Walken,
name?
one's Waltzen. Anyway,
Safton's first name is
Lucifer?
Yeah, Lucifer with a Y after the L. It's Lucifer.
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 Right, I didn't know that.
Lucifer Saturn.
I keep forgetting this. The opening sequence, I really enjoyed it. Billie Eilish kicked that in
Oh, that was
the
Billie
dick.
Eilish, okay.
Yeah, absolutely crushed it. I don't listen to a lot of her music. There's a few of her songs that I like. I think that she did a really good job with this this opening title scroll. So yeah, and it was an interesting scroll that had a couple of things that actually were paralleled into the film really well also. So the statue that's in the sand that has like a trident and a shield, the symbol for the two characters that are infiltrating the base, the symbol on the radar to track them are those two symbols. I'm like, oh, those are from the opening scroll. I like that they tied it in. It makes sense. Tugging at those threads.
I remember in that opening leaning over to Caitlin and saying, like, I would have loved to have been in whatever room that happened when someone had the idea and conveyed it to the other person, like when the idea first started spreading, of I want a double helix, but made of guns.
Yeah,
Double
definitely.
Helix guns shooting at each other. That's what I want in my opening title.
It's like it's a whole bunch of PP9s spiraled.
Yeah, so they're like in a brainstorming session, and they're like, okay, it's all about like DNA. What do I think when I think DNA? I think double helix, guns. We need guns.
What does Bond do?
Yeah.
He has a gun. He has a specific gun. He has a Walther PP9 or a PPK or an old school PP7. And then like, how do we make that happen? It's visually compelling, that particular sequence. So definitely well produced visually, really well produced musically, and performed really well, very well mixed and all of that sort of stuff. I was 100% there for it. I don't have anything else to say about the film that's not going to get into spoiler territory, and I don't really think we should. My humble opinion, I don't think we should spoil anything about the film.
No.
100% not. Mr. Mira, over to you, sir.
I hate the Bond like title sequences.
Nice.
Right.
Well,
Mate, the
piss
second
on
one
my
is like,
parade
Look,
next time, Jace. It's like, you know what, Terry, you're wrong, and here's 15 reasons why.
You know that Simpsons episode where like Homer is just like getting angry that like the movie hasn't even started? That's me. I'm just like, I just want to watch the fucking movie.
Jason, it's
I
going to go
it.
for 2.5 hours, okay?
It's like, I'll watch-
You can put
yeah,
up
well,
with 3
that's-
minutes of beautiful music.
No, and I don't like
And
Billie
it didn't
Eilish.
happen until 15 minutes in.
Yeah,
You had plenty
Yeah.
of movie before.
and like the whole
it
time, I'm
happened.
just like,
That 3 minutes
I
is to
just wanna,
recover from the amazingness that is the.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want to watch the
15
movie.
minutes.
Let's watch the
Read
movie.
the room, Jace. You obviously don't insult the
I
IP
will-
sequence of a Bond film in this crowd.
Bond has a chest of steel to like. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah,
Well, thanks
I
for your
know
thoughts,
I'm in
Jace.
the.
This has been-
Yeah, right.
I know I'm in the minority.
Time
for
him
this.
out in chat. Time him out.
I know I'm in the minority for this, but yeah, I just want to watch
That's
the
alright.
movie.
Yeah,
But,
to your point, Terry, whoever's making the grenades or whatever that the henchmen use has been half filling them every now and then. 'Cause he's like,
With
this is the one
sherbet
that-
or something.
Yeah.
He's like, okay,
Yeah.
I know, I have premonition. This one's the one that's going to go off in Bond's face. So I'm going to just put like 3 grains of powder in that one.
Yeah.
Next one.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's
Yeah.
like a party pop.
That's not. It's just a flashbang. There's no fragmentation happening at all.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, the shock wave isn't the thing that kills you, right? It's the bits of metal in
Well,
you now.
it's
Yeah.
it's both. It's
Yeah.
both. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, I don't really have much more to say about the film. Like, gosh, Lea Seydoux is gorgeous.
Yeah. I
In
like
this
Lea
film.
Seydoux.
There are a lot of shots in this film where I was thinking like that's really beautiful, or like a lot of sequences in this film where I thought that's really cool. I don't know if I can self-plug. Can I self-plug in this?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh.
No.
Sure.
Okay. So I do. I do. This is only my second one, but I did a trailers reaction. So as you know, we all don't watch the trailers. So yeah, hashtag for the spoil. And I did a trailer reaction to the film after watching the film, and I think a lot of my thoughts for this film are on that YouTube video. But like, it's like a lot of the things in the film that I loved are in the trailer, and I'm like, man, if I had seen the trailer before
Yeah.
watching this, that whole scene where he's like on the bike driving up,
Yeah.
jumping over the thing. You see the whole like Aston Martin, got the miniguns out instead of just
What?
like the two pew 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 pew, like
Really?
Yeah.
machine guns from the other ones. And I'm
Oh.
like, because the whole time I'm sitting there like, oh, how the fuck is he gonna go to this one? It's like, is he just gonna like
Yeah,
drive
right.
out? Like, I'm sure he has gadgets on it, but which one's he gonna use?
Yeah.
No, but you know immediately because it's like doing the donuts and it's like going. Beep, 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 beep.
And if you know anything about the history of that car in
Yeah.
the Bond series, you know that car's got a lot of the gadgets
Yeah.
that he used, like
I've got the Lego
Caltrop
version up here.
grenades. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Caltrop grenades out the back as he turns,
Mm.
and the front mounted twin machine guns,
The
LMGs,
rear mounted like bulletproof
Yeah.
piece of metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so that whole thing, I was like,
Oh,
they showed that in the trailer.
Bloody
you
trailer.
just
Um,
reminded me of something else, Jace.
Like
The
I've,
Bulletproof
go on.
glass.
Mm.
This is probably one of the best portrayals of bulletproof glass that I've seen in a film as well. The way that bulletproof glass works, the way it's constructed, and one of the ways that you overcome it, the henchman is doing that by just hitting the exact same spot again and again, and it's doing what bulletproof glass does when you hit it in the same spot multiple times. It starts to like buckle at the
and,
like on
like
the
push
inside.
in, yeah.
Yeah, and it crunches into like a powder. Brilliant.
Shot amazingly well as well.
Yeah,
Mm.
very, very well
I'm-
shot.
And the
I'm
audio
interested.
design in that too. The audio
Sure.
design in that was really cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the big henchman's like, I guess big base was in there as well in the trailer.
Oh, that's,
oh.
like
a rip.
the part where Bond like jumps into the crook on the bridge is in there as well. Like
Oh.
into the nook, I should say, into the
Yeah.
nook.
The nooks, the crannies, the
Yeah, exactly.
the
Yeah,
alcoves.
man, a lot of the stunts in here were really cool. Like props to the stunt team for the
Yeah.
hits that they took, the falls they took.
There was a lot of stuntmen. The
Mm.
section for stunts at the end credits, there was over 100 names in
There
that
was a
list.
lot,
There was
yeah.
so many names in that list. I was like, I believe
You
it.
guys seen those videos or photos or whatever of like how quickly China can like build a whole hospital, like in like 5 days they can build a hospital, and you can
Yeah.
just see like a line of nothing but cement trucks, just one after the other, full of cement, ready to go. They just go in, they blow their load, and then they get out. And
Mm.
like I imagine a Bond film is the opposite, where it's just ambulances leaving with injured stuff, heading straight to the emergency room or whatever.
It's
Yeah.
not a yeah.
There was a dude he was on a motorbike and took like a clothesline shot
Yeah.
to like the chest or the neck or whatever.
That made me think of the counselor.
Surely
Oh,
that was a wire rig, and that
Oh, of
line
course.
there is CGI.
Yeah, that's the,
At the
yeah,
appropriate time, they
yes.
just
That
yanked
dude
him.
did not get coat
Yeah.
hanged. He was
But
definitely
it's
yanked.
quite impressive though.
It
Oh,
is.
speaking of CGI, it's in the trailer as well. When the when the Range Rovers and the motorcycles
Jump
jumped
out of the forest. Yeah,
man, that was pretty bad CG.
It wasn't.
it wasn't.
great.
It wasn't great.
It wasn't the
unfortunately.
best.
I mean, it
but
was on
yeah.
par with like a Marvel film. You know, for something.
Yeah.
What was on par with Shang-Chi?
They
I was gonna
really,
say, yeah.
those
Yeah.
henchmen drivers really need to go back to driving school. It's like, okay, this
Bad
is
were
the
they?
position you want to get them in, not you want to put yourself in.
Yeah,
It's like,
you don't want to make yourself.
"Stop pimping me,"
pittable.
you know?
Yeah, you don't want to.
Yeah.
You don't want to get pitted, and you don't want to be on the outside edge of a cliff face.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they're driving and the guy in the passenger seat's like, get along the outside of him. It's like, pull up just in front of him. It's like, really? It's like, yeah, it'd be great. Okay.
And
Oh, he rammed us. I didn't expect that to happen. Fuck.
it's not fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know we're not really supposed to spoil it, so I won't overtly spoil it. But there's a part with a character reveal that's in the trailer.
Right.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
like meet a certain person. They're like, I'm blah blah blah. And
it's
you're
like,
oh.
They're like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, you're right.
Ridiculous.
Mm.
I have seen portions of the trailer since, and the thing that Ben loves, the Bond hip firing his pistol that he was talking about, that's a part of like the traditional title sequence.
Oh
in
yeah,
my
it's in the
opinion.
trailer.
It's in the trailer,
Oh,
but
that is so fucked.
I almost want, like, I would have been okay if they didn't have it in the movie, but that was the entire trailer. It's like here's the teaser for watching the Bond film, and it's literally Daniel Craig in a tunnel going pew, and it makes you think of the Bond film, but it's not actually in the film. I would have been okay with that, but I'm glad that it's in the film. I don't understand why it's in the trailer.
Trailers for Bond films is like the ultimate like argument against trailers. Like who needs to see more to know whether they want to watch the film or not? Like it's such a sadistic act to watch the trailer for one film. Nobody is on the fence, you know, like I sometimes like Bond films, let's see what kind of Bond film it's going to be. Like, what do you mean what kind of Bond film it's going to be? It's either going to be a good one or a great one.
Yeah. So and if you don't like Bond films, no amount of promotion is going to make me want to go and watch a scary movie. It doesn't matter how they cut it up, pun intended. I'm not going to go see it.
Unless they do it like the Scooby-Doo ride in Movie World. It's like, oh, it's a fun Scooby-Doo ride, but turns into a freaking roller coaster on the inside. It's terrifying. They do it.
Right. I do want to wrap up with one point, and that is, and I think this contributes maybe to the plot confusion as well, is that this film relies on a lot of prior knowledge from those first 4 Bond films.
Yes.
And I think that is to its detriment in some regards as well, because I'm just like, okay, I need to remember White's character, okay, her father, and he had that relationship with this other character who still exists. Okay, I need to remember that relationship. Oh, okay, but then there's this new character, and that's how that is twisted on its head. And so, I think that honestly contributes to a lot of the plot confusion, at least for me. And I can imagine it might be the same for others.
Just be a little bit ignorant and add in. There was a lot of things said by people that don't do English very well, while also a lot of loud things happened, and I didn't hear things that people said. Like the Cyclops guy says this whole thing about, well, I can't tell you, can I? And he's like Italian, and he's saying something in English, but it's more like
Spanglish,
Italian English, and I can't get it because he's also being choked. Like, okay, you're gonna deliver your line now, go, and then we're gonna grasp your windpipe while you're saying it.
Something about Spectre.
Something about her being the daughter of Spectre or something. It's a line just so
planting seed of distrust
and distrust into Bond, and I didn't hear it. And then they, the girl is French, and all the things she says is French. Most of the time, she's not in an action sequence, so there's no loud music playing or whatever. There's a whole okay, we need your help. You have to help us out. Here's the heist. Here's the job. Here's the mission and who you're after in a club. Like when there's just this EDM bouncing off the walls and stuff. And I missed a bunch of stuff in that one as well. And
the second time EDM has been brought up to me this afternoon.
Nice. Never enough.
To that end, as well, I don't know if I've just not been to the movies in a long time, or if I'm being spoiled by my OLED TVs, but cinema screens look shit. Or the last 2 movies I've gone to, I'm like, this is too dim. I can't bring it up, make it brighter. I can't see everything that I want to see, and I don't know what it is.
No strangers in my living room talking whilst I'm watching a film.
But
or just breathing. They don't need to talk.
VMAX at Tuggerah was amazing. Oh my god, the seats as well. Holy
cow. Mine in the cinema I was in.
I had 2 oldies on my side talking at me.
Oh, in the cinema I was, the stupid Hoyt cinema I was in, they got these green LEDs on every step, and it's like, I certainly hope they turn that off when the movie starts. No, they don't. Those are bright as fuck, and I'm like,
they just need to be red.
They
literally just need to be red.
Yeah, red would help. Definitely not blue, but green is still really bright. And so I'm putting my popcorn box here, so it's blocking half of it. And I'm just trying not to see it. But I'm sure that's... Yeah, I'll have to. But mate, I had trouble actually seeing the visuals sometimes. It was just too muted. Must have been a shitty projector, shitty screen, I don't know.
Anyway, that is No Time to Die, the final Daniel Craig Bond film. How do we feel, gents? We'll never see Daniel Craig again as Bond. It's sad.
I think it was a cool send-off.
I agree. I'm glad. But to the point that you just made, the fact that there's been so many of them and they are tied within this overarching plot sequence, this needed to end. There needed to be a closing chapter for that. Otherwise, it's you get to the 6th, 7th, 8th film and you're like, who? What? Yeah. And How? So I like it. I'm glad. I'm gonna miss seeing him on screen in this role, but I'm glad to have been a part of this cinematic experience.
100%.
We should have had martinis.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have made martinis.
I did
So
like
I don't
a toast.
Like, yeah,
I have a jelly bean.
I have water in a.
Anyway, we're going to wrap up
Breakfast
the
with
show
cinnamon.
here, but before we do, let's get to our end games. These are the games
Oh,
we
yeah.
play at the end of the show. We gave you 2 movie quotes at the start of the episode. You need to try and guess which films they're from. I'm going to the dulcet tones of Terry Fear for movie quote number 1.
I am in your headphones and with intonation. Boy, I am 2 seconds from being on you like white on rice and a glass of milk on a paper plate in a snowstorm.
Oh, I know that one now. I think.
Mm.
It's like a drill instructor.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I have the rest of the
Oh.
line.
do you
I
guys
will
wanna
put
have-
my foot so far up your ass, the water on my knee will quench your thirst.
Do you guys know this one or?
No idea.
I think it might be Major Payne.
It is Major Payne.
Oh,
Never
of
heard
course it is.
One of the
What?
Wayans brothers movie. Really funny. Very
Yeah.
much worth a
Michael
watch.
Ironside's in it too.
Yeah, it's definitely a parody on the like special forces kind of thing. It's a comedy, one of the Wayans brothers films, I'm pretty sure. Very worth a watch.
Nice. Mr. Movies, movie quote number 2.
I'm not good at doing this voice properly, but here we go. We move. 5 meter spread. No sound.
Predator?
Well done, Shane.
Yeah,
Oh,
about to say exactly that.
Seen it once, didn't even like it.
Wait, what?
I don't like Predator.
I thought
Hey,
as soon as you
what?
said that you're not good at this voice, I'm like, it's Arnie. It's definitely Predator, which is what I thought it was, and I'm glad
I
Shane
just-
got it.
Just do what I do, Jason. Tell yourself, Shane was hoping it was going to be a movie about grooming young boys, but it wasn't. It was
Oh,
an action flick.
The problem
So
is,
it's
everyone's like,
disappointing.
Predator, greatest action film of all time. And
No.
I watch it, I'm like, it's not the greatest action film of all time. This is
It's
That-
probably the greatest
Well, you were
action
lied
film of
to.
that
In that
time.
case, you were lied to. Unfortunately, Shane, you were lied to.
Yeah, it might be the greatest action film of just then.
Yeah,
Probably.
of that year, maybe.
I believe
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
A rolling window of 2 years.
And the other game we like to play is 6 Degrees. 2 actors, we're going to connect them via other actors they've starred alongside. Mr. Mira, who are we connecting?
We are connecting Liev Schreiber
Lee
with
Schreiber.
Uma Thurman.
Okay.
Schreiber's
Lee
in
Schreiber
this.
is in
Mm.
X-Men First Class.
It's also a Manchurian Candidate.
Is he in
No,
First
it's
also-
Class?
not first class. It's
No, that's right. X-Men Origins. Wolverine
Origins.
Origins.
Yeah, he's in
Um,
Manchurian Candidate with Denzel Washington. He's also in
Oh,
Scream
speaking
2
of,
and Scream 3.
Speaking of grooming boys, he's in.
Yes. What are we trying to think of?
He's
there?
in Spotlight.
Spotlight. Thank you.
He was in Spotlight as well.
That's his best performance by far.
Uma Thurman is in The Kill Bills. She
Pulp
is.
Fiction.
Yeah, she's in what's it called? The Avengers. She's in The Avengers.
Hmm.
With Ray Fiennes.
Yep.
Not the
She's in
Marvel
Batman.
Avengers. Oh
Batman
yeah, she's in
Superman.
Batman and Robin.
Yes.
She's in that movie Prime with Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep plays
Hmm.
the
Oh, hang on.
therapist, and she's her Uma Thurman's her client, and Uma Thurman starts dating her son. I think it's called Prime.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Chris O'Donnell. Goodness, George Clooney. That's the name that I was trying to get to.
Yeah.
George Clooney is in that particular Bond film.
Batman, you mean?
Batman film.
So Spotlight, you got a shit ton of people. You've got
I haven't seen Spotlight.
Rachel McAdams, Mark Ruffalo, John Slattery, Tucci,
Oh,
um,
Stanley.
Michael
Tucci.
Keaton.
Michael Keaton, of course. Thank you.
Oh,
Okay.
is it the same Alfred?
Good question, because then you can go back to the old
Yeah.
Batman. Yeah.
I don't know. Oh shit, it might be.
Yeah, because
Wouldn't
I'm
that be
pretty sure it's the same Alfred, and then it was a special they made it a thing when that Alfred died.
I think you might be. Honestly, I think you might be right.
Yeah.
So say that again. You've
Who knows
got
his name?
Michael Keaton in a what movie?
Liev
with
Schreiber in
who?
Spotlight with Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
And then Michael
in a
Keaton
Batman
with
movie.
Alfred.
with Alfred, and then Alfred in Batman and Robin with Uma Thurman.
Yeah, but we need to know the actors.
We need to know his name.
Should is it a cheat to check it?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it would be.
Yes, it is a cheat
Is
to
it a
check
cheat?
the name.
Is it a cheat to use Google? What if we use Bing?
Well, I think if you can
Alicia-
find anything with Bing, yeah.
Is Ask
Alicia-
Chat?
Alicia Silverstone is in that Batman as well. If that
She
helps.
is. Yeah, that's the yeah. She's Batgirl.
And she's also in Clueless with Paul Rudd.
Yes.
Batgirl.
Isn't Liev Schreiber in Wanted?
No.
No, I'm thinking it's
I
someone
don't
else.
think so.
James McAvoy's in Wanted. Angelina
Yeah,
Jolie.
and Chris Pratt and
Maybe I'm thinking
Melissa
of Brad.
McCarthy.
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman, yeah.
Melissa McCarthy in it?
Yeah, she is the boss,
No, that's not Melissa McCarthy.
isn't it?
No,
Oh.
she is.
My bad.
She's not Phyllis from The Office. She plays like an attendant or a valet of some kind,
Name
and
off
someone
the
says something
movies.
really crass to her, and she has to just kind of deal with it. I can't remember what it is. Oh, I'm gonna have to look it up.
Okay, so Pulp Fiction, you got Bruce Willis as well. Bruce Willis, Tim Roth,
Oh,
Um,
yep.
Samuel L. Jackson,
Oh,
And
Kill
Harvey
Bill.
Keitel.
Kill Bill, we got Lucy Liu.
Hang on. No, I think you might have been onto something with Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction,
oh no,
also
I was using an MCU movie,
Bruce Willis.
which we can't do.
Who else is in Spotlight with Liev Schreiber?
Oh,
James
So
Gunn.
John Slattery is in Adjustment Bureau.
which one's John Slattery?
He's Roger Sterling in Mad Men.
Yeah. Sterling. Okay. Liev Schreiber, Hugh Jackman in Wolverine Origins. Hugh Jackman
Oh,
alongside.
Patrick Stewart's also in that too.
In
Is
what,
he?
sorry?
At the very end, he's like, it's
I
really
thought it was
bad.
a bad CG.
It is a bad
Was it
CG,
actually
but it's
him?
Still credited. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh gosh, Patrick. No, not Patrick Stewart. Hugh Jackman. He stars alongside a whole bunch of people in a whole bunch of movies.
Jake Gyllenhaal in
Oh, hang on a
Prisoners.
second. Hang on. You
hmm.
said Uma Thurman was in a Batman movie with George Clooney. Is that right?
I did. Yes, she's in Batman and Robin as Poison Ivy.
Okay, then we've got a connection to Oceans. Lots of. Oh, I think I've got it. Because
Okay.
Oceans is Matt Damon. Matt Damon's in Adjustment Bureau.
Yes.
Okay, so Liev Schreiber in Spotlight with John Slattery. John Slattery,
Slattery.
Adjustment Bureau with Matt Damon. Matt Damon in Oceans with
Clooney,
you go
and
Bruce
then
Willis. Bruce Willis in Oceans
Yeah.
12. And
that's
then
true.
Bruce Willis in
Pulp Fiction.
with Uma
Four
4
Thurman.
degrees.
4 degrees.
Nice.
I'll take it.
Well
Yeah.
done.
We'll
That's a
take
good
it.
one.
That's enough.
Now that we've sold it, I'm going to look up Alfred.
Yeah, because
While you
that
do
would
that,
be
let
what?
me show off a
3
thing that I
degrees.
bought, gentlemen. Watch this.
2 degrees. What did you do?
Oh,
Whoa!
watch out, Shane! There's some quicksand under you. Oh no! It's following your desk, your memorabilia as well.
Growing up, I thought quicksand was going to be such a big deal. When I
Because
grew
it
up,
was in so many movies
Jake's like,
and
shit, I'm gonna have
TV
to watch out for
shows.
Quicksand when I'm older.
Although I've seen some crazy shit. That I saw a beach where the hydration level was so high and the sand was so fine that the waves that were coming in were basically made of sand.
wow.
And it was like rippling like water, but it was sand. I'm like,
Wow.
that's fucking terrifying because like
Mm.
it's sand. But anyway,
and it
before-
is the same Alfred. He's in all of it. His name is Michael Goth.
Michael Goth. Oh,
You
Goth,
Michael Goth.
Gotham. Michael Gotham. Goth. Anyway.
Anyway, that has been the Movie Magic Show for this Wednesday, the 17th of November, 2021. Thank you, dear viewer, for tuning in. You can catch all our past episodes on my YouTube channel. Just search Magic Casts, one word, on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter as well, at Movie Magic Show. We'll notify you when we're going live and also which films we're going to be reviewing, which next week. I don't think we have anything coming out, guys. So I'm keen to watch a couple on my, one on my my pile
Pile
of shame
shame?
here. Black Swan, It's been
I like Black Swan.
August time.
Ooh,
So I'm gonna
I'll
Black
rewatch that.
Swan.
interesting.
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus, correct. And considering we watched Alien the other day, how about
Yes!
Aliens?
Yes.
Aliens?
Any excuse to watch that son bitch again? Yeah.
Yeah. I
That's
keep
right.
this one for close quarters.
I like to keep this for close encounters.
Oh, Close Encounters, yeah. Whoops.
Aliens
Yeah.
and Black Swan next week. I want to thank the era of Jason Mira.
Yes. Thank you.
Son of a
I want
bitch.
to thank the Dulcet Tones of Terry Fear.
It's always a pleasure, boys.
And I want to thank Mr. Movies Ben Stapleton.
Pod blast, Shane. Thanks for
We
hosting.
hope you had a pod blast, dear viewer. Until next time. Hydra.